Hey everyone, Brian Zane here. Time once again for another viewer mailbag unboxing. First package comes to us from frequent mailer of stuff, Roland in Norwich, Connecticut. He also asked a couple of questions and I'll answer one of them right now. He asked, how did I get a job with Ring of Honor and what was it like working there? There were a few people in the upper tier of Ring of Honor and the brass and whatnot who were already fans of my work on YouTube, and then when I applied and I sent interest in wanting to be, say, a manager, they asked, well, would you want to be an interviewer and maybe do some top fives? And I said yes, and the rest is history. And I had a fantastic time working in ROH for those last 2 years of its original era. Then there's this next one from Jeff in Inglewood, California. It is an All Elite crate box, so there are some things from this crate that made it here, like this copy of the Best of Dark Elevation Volume 1. There's this nice drink koozie for Jamie Hayter. Ooh, an exclusive sticker pack of the acclaimed Scissor Me. Oh, look at this, a VHS copy of the Major Pod Network's live show. Oh, this is awesome. There's a guitar pick signed by the demon himself, Dale Torborg, XWF on the back. It's in your face. All right, what a cool piece of history this is. Some officially licensed WCW Valentine's Day cards from the year 1999. Look at some of the names here. You got DDP and Sting and Booker T. Ooh, look how jacked Raven is. Bret Hart and Kidman. Oh, this is neat. A WCW coloring book. Look at the physique of Nash and Hall on this page. This is fun. Oh, there's stickers involved too. I don't know who this guy's supposed to be. Oh, it's supposed to be Saturn? Oh, that's supposed to be Saturn apparently. Could have fooled me. Got a copy of the July 99 issue of WWF Magazine with The Rock on the cover with the SmackDown Hotel. What a classic look this is. This is a Georgia Lottery scratch it for Impact Wrestling. Win up to $25,000. Oh, I gotta see if this is a winner. Okay, so we can see the ticket is void here, so I'm not gonna win anything even if they are winning numbers, but we'll find out here. 16, no. 10, no. 24. So there you go. This was not a winning lotto ticket. And finally, what a cool piece of history this is. I don't know if this is the genuine article or a reprint, but this is a copy of a Texas Department of Labor and Standards boxing or wrestling contract. It is signed by Patricia Ann Seymour, who I did some digging. That's the real name of Leilani Kai. It says that she had signed into a wrestling match one fall to a finished tag event with Robin Torres, and it was signed by Paul Bosch. This was signed back in November of 1980, and it says here the winner's purse was $100. All right, this next one here, oh, is a heavy sucker, and it comes to us from Sean in Castleberry, Florida. Let's see what's in this behemoth. Whoa, buddy! Look at this retro WCW hat with the snapback. Oh, it fits like a glove. I love that. That's so cool. Ooh, the WWF Aggression album, the CD for this. I did review this album a long time ago if you want to check that out. Some more wrestling CDs here. This is WWF The Music Volume 3, Volume 5. There's Forcible Entry. There's John Cena's album, the anthology. It's all here. Oh, one of these discs is WCW Mayhem, The Music. It's one of the only wrestling albums I don't think I've ever heard, so I'm excited to listen to this one. Here is a deck of TNA playing cards. All right, so the Joker is blank, first of all. That's a missed opportunity for Joker Sting right there. Well, I think I know what made the box weigh so much. It was all these copies of not just WWF magazines and other wrestling publications like Wrestling World and PWI, but also a whole collection of all of these strategy guides for the WWF video games for SmackDown, SmackDown 2, SmackDown vs. Raw, Just Bring It. Oh my goodness, what a nostalgia throwback. Really cool WrestleMania 18 like special edition magazine that came out for this time. It has the whole front half of it is all like results from past manias and insight and interviews, and then the back half of it's all these just promo pictures of the wrestlers and stuff, some of which hadn't even debuted on television yet, like Randy Orton for example, and they're just spots for you to get autographs. Ooh, and then this issue of the 2003 preview for WWE. Who can we find here in this preview thing? Factoids about all your favorite WWE stars. I love the classic pay-per-view reviews every Wednesday. I appreciate all the entertainment and insight you provided over the last 7 years for me, and wanted to extend my appreciation with this note and some of my childhood belongings. Really cool. This is so cool, Sean. Thank you so much. What happened? Why is the shot slightly different? And why is my hair shorter and I'm wearing a different shirt? and sitting in a newer, nicer chair. Well, long story short, as is often the case when I do these videos, even more stuff came to my mailbox not too long after I filmed the first wave of things, so I might as well knock these out as well, beginning with some letters. This one here is some royal mail. So this is hilarious. This letter comes to me from a viewer named Kyle, who says he actually met me back in 2018 at the Wrestling Media Con in Manchester when I was there, and he says, "I remember your foot hurting," and said, "It's only 28p for some. The look on your face was epic. You probably don't remember that." I don't remember that particular line, but I do remember, yes, my foot was very sore, and I think I told a couple of people that because I was visibly limping and hobbling. I remember just walking around so much in London in the days before that, and including hauling ass to get to my train to Manchester on time, like the day before this conference, that by the end my foot was a wreck, and I was just like in the most extreme pain just getting around, and it was really hard to hide. So I'm glad that there were a few people like Kyle here at the convention who were concerned about my well-being. Okay, I'm pausing from the fan submitted stuff for a second because this package just came in the mail for me like yesterday, and I do know what this is. This one was for myself. So I saw someone bring this up on Facebook the other day, and I just had to find it on eBay for myself. This is a copy of the World Wrestling Federation Basic Adventure Game Rulebook provided by Whit Publications. This came out in 1993, and as far as I can tell, this is basically the manual for a D&D style WWF game. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I got myself into when I picked this up, because D&D is never a game I played. Those kind of role-playing games I've never really been into, so this is a whole new world for me. There's so much here, but movement charts, stun codes, stun points, pinning maneuvers, Irish whips, things about managers, things about interference. There's so much going on here, and I honestly can't wait to really dive into this and try and figure out if this game is something maybe we can play on the Patreon page and just get a feel of like what this thing is all about, because I feel that there's some gold in this adventure game book. All right, our next package comes to us from Tom in Burrillville, Rhode Island. Bam! Oh, this is cool. Bullet Club Cologne. I never knew that they made this. It's an official New Japan Pro Wrestling product. This is so damn cool. This letter says that the cologne and the pens are from New Japan's store in Tokyo when he traveled there 2 years ago. Oh, I gotta try this out. You gotta believe, I gotta see how this Bullet Club cologne smells. All right, admittedly, I don't think they put a whole lot of thought and effort into the branding and the packaging of this product. Ooh, it's got the scent profile that I really like. It's got hints of citrus to it. There is some sandalwood, there's some cardamom, some of my favorite scents in this actually. And so I think it's actually a winner. And it turns out, I was doing some research in between takes here, this is actually the third New Japan branded fragrance that's been sold over the years. So I guess at some point I have to track down the other ones and give them a try as well. But this is seriously a really cool pack of gifts you sent me here. Tom, thank you so much. From my good friends over at SweatCedo. They are the company that make my awesome custom velour tracksuits that I've been wearing ever since the very first video here at Wrestling with Wregret. All right, at long last, I figured it was time to finally update my collection a little bit. So I finally retired the old purple sweatsuit, the old Crown Royal bag, in for the new Crown Royal bag here. I got the influencer embroidery on the front, and then of course I've got this awesome design I had made just in time to celebrate a decade of regret. And as you can see, I got the same one here on this brand new blue one. I'm really excited for this one. I'm gonna debut this suit at Mitzvah Mania in Los Angeles, WrestleMania weekend, so I'm very excited. They've always been great at helping me set myself apart when I'm out there performing, so thank you once again, SweatCedo, for helping me get this style, and thank you for such a great job once again on these new suits. Look, this video was almost done being edited, and then I realized I had these packages that were like, I put them away for safekeeping to open later, and then I lost them, and then I found them again just before I got done editing this thing. So this is a Franken mailbag video in the biggest way possible. We'll get there eventually, folks. Trevor from Chicago, Illinois writes, who is the better composer, Jimmy Hart or Jim Johnston? Now that is a great question because no doubt both guys have submitted a lot of classic wrestling themes in the overall history of the sport. Say Jim Johnston composing Steve Austin's theme to Jimmy Hart having done All American Boys for the Fabulous Rougeaus. You know what? There's no contest. Jimmy Hart, to me, I think overall body of work is the better composer. He also asks me who would be the ideal director for my biopic, and the answer to that's easy. It's gotta be Weird Al Yankovic. Now, I know that he didn't direct his own biopic that came out this past year, but he has directed some music videos, so I know he's got the chops for it. This next one comes to us from Paul in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is a Christmas tree ornament of the center plate for the WWE Championship. Very nice. He threw in some nice art as well. This appears to be a page from a Lucha Libre themed coloring book. Good job staying inside those lines. There is one video that I missed apparently in my wrestlers and music videos countdown. He says Velvet Sky is in Montgomery Gentry's video for their song So-Called Life. Thank you for pointing that out. And you know, as time has gone on, I know the comment section for those videos told me that there's a few others I missed. I think that one came up at least once. You know, maybe one of these days I'll do another wrestlers in music videos compilation, because Lord knows a lot of time has passed between those videos and now. Oh, it's a pamphlet for the Pennsylvania Antique Trail. If I wanted to go on the Antique Trail route, this is where I would go through Pennsylvania. I'm sure if I go to Pennsylvania and some of these parts, I bet I could hang out with my friend Ian Riccaboni, and he could show me all these places like Beaver Falls and Brookville, Phillipsburg, Scranton, Millerstown, Elizabethville, Darlington, Kutztown, and Denver. Cool, so what I'm getting from this is this was sent to me by the Pennsylvania Tourism Board. Thanks, guys. Another package here. This one comes to us from Amazon. We'll see who it's actually from, but it does feel like a book. Keep making the dope content. This one comes to us from Doug. So this here is a graphic novel that was published in 2017. It's called WWE Volume 1, Redesign, Rebuild, Reclaim. And this one here tells you the story, a fictionalized account that is, of Seth Rollins and his rise to the top, his injury, his recovery from his knee surgery, and his return to WWE. It looks very well done. This is done by Dennis Hopeless, Dan Mora, Serge Acuna, and Doug Garbark. And so the artwork here is very nice. Of all the different like WWE comics and wrestling comics in general I've seen over the years, this probably has the nicest art style. You can tell who is who. There's not a lot of ambiguity as to who the characters are. Ooh, best and worst episodes of Bob's Burgers. Now, I will say the worst one that I remember seeing was the two-parter where they parodied Blade Runner, and not only did I think the plot wasn't that good, also the references are lost on me because you know what, I haven't seen Blade Runner. I know, it's a huge shock. Someone throw tomatoes at me. As far as the best or my favorite Bob's Burger episode, it's gotta be the one where Tina goes to horse camp and she pretends to ride her imaginary horse Jericho, who's voiced by Paul Rudd. Okay, our last package is definitely a loose DVD in this container. Aha! Kaiju Big Battle on DVD. This is always fun stuff to watch. Kaiju Big Battle is exactly what it sounds like. It's wrestlers in giant kaiju suits, and they fight around on big, cardboard cities in a ring and beyond. And our last letter comes to us from James over in Ilion, New York. Hope I said the name of that town right. He has a few questions here. He asks, of all the wrestling biographies, which was the most compelling to you? That's a really good question. I think that Chris Jericho's first autobiography, A Lion's Tale, is probably my favorite. It's the one that I remember reading in like a day. It was just so fun to read, and I think that he and the author's writing style worked so well, and it was so engaging and fun to read. Mick Foley's first book, Have a Nice Day. That is also just a terrific book for the amount of detail and depth he put in that book. Bret Hart's book is another one that I think was very engaging. Another big thick boy, that autobiography of his, like 640 pages, I believe, was the final page count. And his final question here is, hypothetical, if I got signed anywhere and I had to change my name, would I just pull a rhino in WWE and change the spelling of my name to Brian with a Y? I would hope I wouldn't have to, but if that would work and I could keep the name otherwise, then yeah, I might do that actually. But as we all know, I can't spell my last name with a Y because that's taken. Thanks to everybody who sent such awesome stuff to the mailbag this time around. I had a lot of fun opening these things up. If you want to send me things for me to open and read on camera, be sure to send it to Brian Zane at 1863 East Pioneer Parkway, number 455, Springfield, Oregon, 97477. Thanks once again, everybody. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.